Every morning, before the town of Briar Glen fully woke, Arthur Bell stepped into his backyard with a tin of feed and a pocket full of memory. The loft stood at the far end of the yard, weathered wood, patched more times than he could count. To anyone else, it looked like a relic. To Arthur, it was a cathedral. "Easy now," he murmured as he unlatched the doors. The pigeons stirred, soft coos filling the air like a quiet chorus. They knew him, not just as a provider, but as something more: anchor, compass, constant. Arthur moved slowly but with purpose. At 82, every motion carried weight, yet none were wasted. He checked each bird, each perch, each latch. "They don't make things like this anymore," he said aloud, though no one was there to answer. Not birds, not people. Once there had been others like him, men who trained pigeons to carry messages across miles, through storms, over mountains, across time itself. It had been a language without wires. Now, phones, satellites, instant everything. Arthur didn't resent progress, but he missed patience. He missed purpose. "You still matter," he told the birds. "Don't let anyone tell you different." A young pigeon hopped closer, gray with a streak of white across its wing. "Not so young anymore, are you?" Arthur chuckled. "You've got miles in you yet." He called her Mercy. It happened quickly, too quickly. Arthur was adjusting one of the lower cages, a heavy one he'd reinforced himself decades ago, when the support beneath it gave way. There was a sharp crack, a sudden tilt, and then the cage came down. Arthur didn't even have time to step back. It slammed against his leg, pinning him hard against the ground. Pain exploded upward, white-hot and blinding. He cried out, but the sound was swallowed by the open air. For a moment, he couldn't breathe. Then the pain settled into something deeper. He tried to move. The cage didn't budge. Arthur lay there, staring up at the sky. Blue, calm, indifferent. "Well," he whispered through clenched teeth, "that's not good." He tried again, pushing, pulling, shifting his body. Nothing. The cage was too heavy. His leg throbbed. Warmth spread beneath it. Wet. He didn't need to look to know. Blood. "How long have I got?" he muttered. No answer. Only the steady cooing of the pigeons above. Minutes stretched. Then hours. The sun climbed higher. Arthur's breathing grew shallow. He thought of calling out, but there was no one close enough to hear. His nearest neighbor was half a mile down the road. His daughter lived 2 states away, and he had chosen this life. Quiet, independent, alone. "Stubborn old fool," he said softly. As the pain deepened, memories began to surface. A younger Arthur, running through fields with his father, learning how to tie messages to tiny legs. "Respect the bird," his father had said. "They don't just fly, they know." Arthur blinked. His eyes shifted toward the loft, toward the birds. "Of course," he whispered. The realization hit like a spark, not modern, not fast, but true. He couldn't reach his phone, but he could reach them. Arthur twisted his body, ignoring the flare of pain. His hand stretched toward the nearest cage, his fingers brushing against the wire. "Come on," he murmured. One of the birds fluttered closer. "Mercy." "Good girl," he said, voice trembling. "I need you." Arthur fumbled in his shirt pocket. A small notebook, a pencil. His hands shook as he wrote, "Help. Arthur Bell. Trapped. Bleeding. Backyard loft." He tore the page carefully, folded it, attached it to Mercy's leg with trembling fingers. "You remember," he whispered. "Fire station. You've done it before." He looked into her small, bright eyes. Don't you fail me now. Arthur lifted his hand. Mercy hesitated for a heartbeat. Then, she took flight. The sky stretched wide and endless. Mercy flew with purpose, past rooftops, over trees, across roads. She had made this journey before, guided not by sight alone, but by something deeper, a knowing, a pull. Below, the town moved on, unaware of the race unfolding above them. At the Briar Glen fire station, the afternoon was quiet. Too quiet. "Coffee?" one firefighter asked. "Always." Then, a flutter at the window. A gray blur landed on the sill. "What the—" They turned. The pigeon stood there, still, watching. Something tied to its leg. "Is that a note?" one of them said. They moved closer, carefully, untied it, read. Silence fell. Then, "Get the truck." Arthur drifted in and out of consciousness. The world blurred. The sky dimmed. "You did your best," he whispered. Then, sirens. Faint at first, then louder, closer. Arthur's eyes opened. "No way," he breathed. The firefighters worked quickly. "Easy, easy. Lift on 3. The cage shifted. The pressure released. Arthur gasped as air rushed back into his lungs. "You're okay," someone said. "We've got you." Arthur's eyes searched the sky, and there, a small shape circling above. Mercy. Arthur survived. Barely, but he did. The story spread quickly. An old man, a pigeon, a message that saved a life. People called it unbelievable. Arthur just called it truth. Weeks later, back in his yard, leaning on a cane, he opened the loft once more. The pigeons stirred, alive, ready. Mercy landed beside him. He smiled. "You see," he said softly, "still matters." And in a world that had forgotten how to wait, a bird had reminded them how to listen. If you enjoyed this short story, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you.